Every time you open my eyes, and I give it thank you for your love. So if I never ever told you that I love you and adore you, I'm telling you now. And if I never ever showed you that I worship you, I'm showing you now. And if I never ever thank you for your Holy Spirit that watches over me, I'm thanking you now. And if I never ever praised you for all of your great creativity my eyes can see, I'm praising you now. I'm praising you now. The truth to me, it's back to me, it's back to me. I'm praising you now. My happiness is that you existed. I'm praising you now. Yes, I'm reaching eternally in divinity. I'm praising you now. And I want you to know that I appreciate your love.
Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Rabbi Yosef right here. Just getting ready. You got it, sir. Hey, shalom, shalom, sir. Just last minute trying to get stuff together so we can do this broadcast tonight. Shalom, shalom. Hey, listen, hold on. Let me turn this music off because we're ready to get started. Are we live on? Hold on, let me check to see if we live because I gotta watch what I say. Because if we're on Facebook, yeah, we're live. We are live, but I'll speak to y'all off camera because I want to know about something. I'm sure your wife handled it, but I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something straight up. Hold on, let's stop this. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of witchcraft that's trying to come into the Hebraic community, and a lot of women specifically are practicing witchcraft, and a lot of brothers are being seduced by the spirit of witchcraft. And I think it's time to call it out and expose them. And people say, well, what does that have to do with you? Well, my Bible tells me to cry loud and spare not. If I've been handed the mantle in the office of the prophet, then that's what I'm expected to do. This is what I was born to do. So it's just like the prayer in Deuteronomy. I had this a prayer shawl specifically made for me from a sister in Ghana, West Africa. And it's written in the Hebrew, and then and in the translation is Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, and it means, the translation is, Hear, O Israel, our Yah, our Elohim is one. And it don't have that demonic star. It has the symbol, the true symbol. The menorah, exactly. So that's all I wear is scripture in Hebrew with the menorah. And so that being said, a lot of folk is not, I don't know if people coming on tonight or not, but we're going to continue to talk concerning the subject. So I'll definitely talk with you off camera, because everyone is not privileged to the conversation that we're going to have. So I'm going to mute y'all for a minute and get started. Yeah, we're going to get started. We are live on StreamYard. Yeah, we're streaming live. All go on Stream Live. So we're live on our. Let me check the YouTube channel. Let me check our YouTube channel to see if we are live on there. They tried to hit me with a strike for the music, and I'm like, the music is public. We're not selling anything, so let's stop the dumb stuff. You know what I mean? Because they coming at brothers with all kinds of stuff, and it don't make sense. Okay, here we go. We are live on YouTube. We praise the Most High for that. I'm just going to send this to a couple people, and we'll get ready to get started. We want to address tonight. We want to address. I don't know where Prophet Yahukanan is, but okay. We began to talk on the topic dealing with the beast. Okay, praise Yah, praise Yah. That's an assembly in Baltimore. We are due to come. Wait a minute. Let me hold on. I'm going to mention this on Facebook as well as Shalom, Apostle Ronald Harrison. Shalom to you. Sound like somebody. Is that firecrackers? Okay. You know, I got to keep my wits about me. I hope I ain't got to grab my gun and run out in the street. Oh yeah, that's fireworks. That's fireworks. I want to greet everyone tonight. Okay. Here we go. We're scheduled to come to Baltimore. We'll be going to Baltimore. Let me see. September. Okay. September the 24th, 2022. Baltimore. Your man, Rabbi Yosef Benjamin Yisrael. You know, some affectionately call me that crazy rabbi from Philly. We'll be coming to install and celebration of Chief Apostle Dr. William L. Horn as Chief Rabbi, presiding apostle and Chief Rabbi of the Seventh-day Apostolic Temple International, 1552 Gorsuch Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland, 21218. We'll be there 10:30 a.m. Morning worship begins at 11 a.m. It will be the rabbinical ordination of Apostle Dr. William L. Horn. We've been in relationship with that brother for many years, over 20 plus years. And we praise the Most High for him, for reaching out, for his executive pastor, Jasmine Antone Clark Sr. We praise the Most High for them. We are excited. And I just sent him over. Okay. Okay. And we don't go out that much now. A lot of fellowships who still observe Sunday, they decide that I was too radical and crazy. And I'm one of those ones that just don't care. My last outside engagement, this is where I met my new sister, Melanie Brown, was at the Bread of Life Fellowship there in Moorhead, Kentucky. And new family out there. See, the Almighty closes one doors and open up many more. So we praise the Most High for that. Now, there's been a season where I had to transfer my thought process from out of a building and online and just focus online. And that's where we have my reach basically is more online ministry. I don't mind going to other fellowships ministering, but the time is coming. I need everybody to hear the time is coming where you're going to have to give that up and get ready to flee Babylon. And Africa is the destination. Africa is the destination. Africa is the destination. Now, I've been listening to some brothers out there who are on point. And I just want to give a shout out to them. Let me see. Let me go to my history because I really want to mention this brother YouTube channel, because when I tell you he is all that and then some. See, I'm not afraid, and I'm not jealous to try to garner up all the support. Apostle Ronald Harrison is an awesome man of Yah, and he has a Facebook page, and he ministers. And I ask that you support him on his page, and other brothers and sisters of like mind. But this one particular brother, check his YouTube channel out. It's Benaiah Israel. Benaiah Israel. He goes in hard, and I'm talking about with actual facts. He's not blowing smoke. He's giving facts, proof of our identity as Israelites, as well as what some of the stuff we're going to talk on tonight. I found this message today where he had the topic, meet the Indians, the Hebrew Israelites, and the giants. And that was very powerful. Then he has a teaching on the lineage of King David. Benaiah is spelled Benayah, Israel. Capital Israel. Benaiah Israel. And then another brother who I highly endorse and support is Dante Fortson. Check his channel out. He goes in hard against these Christian apologists who come up against us and try to debunk us. Dante Fortson is another brother that is excellent with his scholarship. And you also know that I support We Woke Now. We Woke Now. Dr. Richardson Kelly. Love that brother. We Woke Now. And then Tito Ministries. Tito Ministries. I may be saying it wrong. Let me pull it up. I think I'm mentioning it wrong. Is it okay? Let me see. But the brothers are excellent in their scholarship, and I invite y'all to just check them out. Check them out, and you won't be disappointed. These brothers. Want to mention something. I want to mention something interesting that went over people's head. And also, I want to mention Hebrews to Negro TV. Hebrews to Negro TV. Moses Levy, my good friend. Ron Dalton. Ron Dalton. Shout out to Ron Dalton. Shout out to Michael Israel. Spiritual Warfare Boot Camp. These brothers are out on the front, and they're putting in that work with the scholarship. So we're going to move on, and I just want y'all to know that there is brothers out there, like I know about redirecting with Deborah Yah and the Watchmen. We also enjoy their content, but I'm seeing division creep in. I'm seeing a bunch of division creep in. Somebody went behind my back, and I'll just say it like that, and mentioned that I called out not this brother in particular. I didn't call his name, but I just made a statement that you got to be foolish to leave the Hebrew Israelite, and you refuse to push this lifestyle. And Apostle Harrison, you know what I'm saying. And they went back to that brother and tried to say I put him on blast, and I didn't even mention his name. Okay, I just said you got to be foolish, and he said, brother, I should cuss you out. Go right ahead. You want if that get it off your system, because then I'm gonna know for real you're a Christian, because you can't take correction, because you got to be a fool to want to leave this truth and go back to Christianity. So what is my Facebook? Somebody was just asking me, they looking for me on Facebook. See, that's what happens when you have too many Facebook accounts. Okay, here we go. Let me tag him in here. Okay, let me tag him. But he got offended. And I don't know why, because what offends me is that our community is coming under attack. And I'm sorry, I done did Christianity since 1979. I'd have been to their schools. I was a Christian apologist. What are the reasons why I went to school? The one of the courses that was required was apologetics, defense of the faith, defending the faith. Okay, knowing how to win a debate and an argument, and to understand the false theological concepts of cults like Jehovah's Witness, Islam, Catholicism, and we took a course on the kingdom of the cults. All right, not realizing that Christianity is still under the authority of the papacy. And people lie and say that it's not so. But it's facts. It is facts. Um, they have, okay, they have, okay, they have a paradigm that is strong in terms of recruitment. And a lot of our brothers in the Pentecostal faith, the late Bishop or Archbishop Ellis, who started out in Philadelphia, and he relocated in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. He started the Archbishop and the College of Bishops. He started the College of Bishops. I was not. I didn't want to join. I didn't need to join because what they was pushing, this prideful thing of whether you are a legitimate bishop or not, based upon apostolic succession. I'm going somewhere with this. So you have the Churches of God in Christ, the Church of God in Christ, the organization that I was a part of as an ordained elder and pastor. Listening to Bishop Ellis running down to the Pope and begin to the process of being recognized by the Vatican, and then coming back. Now everyone's talking about you ain't legit unless you have apostolic succession. Which Bible are you reading? Because I was just reading this scripture when Yeshua said, "Thou art Peter," Cepher in the Hebrew. But he said, "And upon this rock," not Peter or Cepher, which means little stone. Yeshua was talking about himself. Upon his foundation will he establish the assembly. I'm not using that term church. Assembly. Then he said, the portals of Hades, the portals of hell, shall not prevail. Now, why did he talk about portals? Because there are a lot of supernatural demonic doors and gateways, portals that are open. People are opened to demonic generational curses. They get saved. They become born again. But there's a law in the spirit realm. And this is what Rabbi Mega, bless you, sir, for coming on again. There's a lot of people that don't understand that we can don all of these Hebraic things and the tassels, the tzitzis, but if you don't have a prayer life, citing the Ten Commandments, citing the Torah, Tanakh, and knowing the history of Yisrael, understanding Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, all of that doesn't mean anything because, watch this, Ha-Shaitan knows the book better. He proceeded from our El. Ha-Shaitan, who we know, his angelic name was Hillel, not Lucifer. See, the transliteration, those that was writing the transliteration into the Latin and into the Texas Receptus, from which the King James Bible is translated from, they put their spew. In other words, if you notice, the modern King James don't have Enoch, don't have the other books. So many of the seminary trained pastors like myself at one time believed there's only 66 books. We was taught that the last book of the Old Testament was Malachi. And between Malachi and Matthew was a 400-year silent period that the Almighty did not speak. Let me explain this to you. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Okay? When you look at all of the texts of scripture that they took out, you'll find Yahweh been speaking. It's just we haven't been listening. He dealt with some things that shakes the Roman Catholic institution at its core. We talked about them being the little horn that Daniel talked about. They are the major component of the beast system. We talked about how this goes beyond race. And we tie this in with the synagogue of Hashatan. But the Catholics, the Catholic Church are bloody. They're full of perversion. They're full of incest. In fact, I believe it's in the New Testament where it says, if you forbid servants of Yah of marriage, that's a doctrine of devils. Okay? Now, that don't mean it's going to solve the pedophilia issue, but come on. I remember my pastor, the late Dr. Horace Shepherd Sr., talked about there was a monastery in Baltimore. And then across from the monastery, there was a place where the nuns slept, and then another building where the priests slept. But they found that there was a secret tunnel that ran from the priest dorms underground to the nuns. They was getting their sex on, and some of them were pregnant, and they killed those babies because they found out when they excavated there was bones of babies down there. So you tell me how holy is the Roman Catholic Church? Now, let me show you how the Roman Catholic Church gave birth to Islam. Islam claims the Quran, but has a queen of heaven, calling her name Fatima. Catholicism has a queen of heaven. They call her Mary. Mary, queen of heaven of Catholicism. Fatima, the queen of heaven of Islam. Both of them, the same woman. No, not Jezebel. Semiramis. Semiramis. Well, Rabbi, how do you figure Islam came from Catholic Church? I want y'all to follow me. Ariya Benya, we get ready to hit it. We get ready to drop this. Then I'm going to open the floor for questions and comments. Rome, which is Esau. Rome is Esau. The Roman Empire is Esau. Okay? The Roman government overthrew. Watch this. I want y'all to see this correlation. The Roman government, which is Esau, came into Israel, Yisrael, and sacked it, invaded it. The Israelites, the house of Judah, fled. And they fled south, some into South Africa, some into Ethiopia, some into majority Ghana and Nigeria. They in Nigeria, Judah started their own kingdom. And the name of it was called Negro Land. Negro Land. Okay? Old maps before the 17th century will show you Negro Land. The late Pastor Stephen Darby did a teaching on this many years ago before he transitioned. Destined Ministries out of Louisville, Kentucky. So they fled into Negro Land, South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, where you find the Igbo, the Bantu, and the Limba. My aunt Ron Dalton does a thorough examination of the blood types of the Bantu Negro. Now, here's where we're about to expose this. They were flowing, and the Hamites became jealous. And the Hamites initiated the transatlantic slave trade in partnering with Spain. Wait a minute now. Israel also fled into Spain. And if you remember, Spain, see, people get their idea that this was just white supremacy. No, you got to understand something. Spain had been conquered by the Moors of Africa. So, wow, I'm not trying to go in there tonight, but I want y'all to follow this. Yet when Israel ran into Spain, that's what you call the Sephardim, the Sephardic Jews. Okay. And we're going to do some more research on how Spain decided to get involved, Spain and Portugal. The Portuguese decided to collaborate in the transatlantic slave trade along with the Arab enslavers. All right? The Arab Muslims, you heard it, the Christian Spaniards and the Christian Portuguese, all under the papers, the blessings of the Pope, they came upon Ghana and Nigeria. And guess who financed the slave trade? The Rothschild machine. The Rothschild understood that they needed to enslave the real Hebrew Israelites. Now, watch this. The Pope, the Vatican understood. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, you're right, Rabbi. You're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to Rome for a minute. Rome invades Yisrael. Yisrael flees deeper into Africa. Okay. Then how do you explain Catholicism? Before Rome, Esau invaded, Rome was at war with pagan Rome. It was a lot of homosexuality, bestiality, all of those things that Nimrod affected the entire planet. And it affected with Esau in Rome. The Roman government, they would look at the story of Caligula and all of those Roman generals, their pedophilia, homosexuality, sleeping with dead corpse, the most vile behavior was going on in Rome. That's Esau. Okay? And the Roman government and the assembly of Yahusha. The followers of Yahusha begin to spread the Basora, which is the gospel. Exactly. It happened in the temple. That's right. Exactly. But revival was breaking out and people was becoming convicted of their sins. And you know the ministry of Rabbi Shaul, Apostle Paul, when he went to the Gentiles. His apostolic assignment was the Gentiles. Okay? A lot of brews want to argue with me over that. That's for another time. Facts are facts. And so, when it got to Rome, Constantine saw the strength in the assembly of Yahusha. Those believers were being put to death, thrown in lions' den. Cephas, Peter, was crucified upside down. Other apostles were sown in half, burned, but they never denied their faith. They never renounced Yeshua. And Constantine said, if I can't beat them, then I'm join them. He's on a battlefield, right? I'm going to hit y'all with something. And all of a sudden, a UFO appears. Oh, man, I'm going to tie all this stuff in. Fallen angels appear with the sign of a so-called cross and the words written, with this symbol you shall conquer. But it wasn't your average cross. It was the Egyptian anchor that appeared to Constantine. We'll talk about the Egyptian anchor another time. Satanic symbol. And so Constantine allegedly becomes a Christian, a Christian. And he makes himself the first pope, the spiritual father. That's what pope means, papa, spiritual papa in the Latin. He takes water and sprinkles upon his soldiers who are rapists. They rape sheep, they rape goat, they sleep with anything. But he gonna take water and throw it on them. You see, that's why in the Pentecostal church, you apostolics are out of order. You preach Acts 2:38 and says you're not saved unless you go down under the water. I've been telling you when I was in the Christian church, now I'm telling you as a senior rabbi, you're all a bunch of devils and you're teaching false gospel, because a homosexual will go down a dry devil and go in the water and come up a wet devil. He's still a devil if he hasn't been converted and repent of his sins. Now, I'm sorry. That's my roast for the night. So don't tell me about some water. But Constantine claims the title of Pope, throws water. Now they become Christians. And he says to the assembly of Yeshua that are hiding from persecution, come out from your hiding place. We are all one family. And when they came out, he said, but you must submit to our doctrine. What happened? They changed the name of Semiramis and gave her the name Mary. They wrote and said, Peter wrote a letter in gold. And he presented to every sovereign king of Europe and other. And he says, this is the letter from Peter, straight from Peter. And it says, recognize the Pope as over all your kingdoms. Here is the letter from heaven. and the kings of Europe believed this until it was discovered Peter never stepped foot outside of Israel. So how could he be given this Esau person, Constantine, a letter when Peter never set foot in Rome? So now the Roman Catholic machine, like, we got to cover this lie up. We got to see, you need one lie to cover another lie. So they said, what we will do, we will move the Vatican from Rome to the Holy Land, Palestine. We will move the Vatican from Rome to Israel. But there's a problem there. The children of Israel are still there, along with the children of Ishmael. Watch this. Ishmael, still an Israelite, but they abandoned the children of Ishmael had abandoned Torah and began to worship 365 different deities. The children of Ishmael became in different cliques and most tribal groups. The Roman Catholic spies, the Jesuits, found an interesting young man named Muhammad. They arranged that Muhammad would be seduced in marriage to an older woman who works for the Vatican. Her name was Khadija. Muhammad begins to have visions, and she, with the aid of the Vatican, began to interpret the vision. She pumped his ego. Now, let me give you some context. Muhammad's tribe that he belonged to was called the Quraysh tribe. I'm getting ready to throw another bomb in there relating to the UFO experience. Muhammad's tribal deity was a moon god, the moon deity. Guess what that moon deity is? Name. Guess what the name of their moon deity, the Quraysh tribe? That name that they worship, the moon deity, they call it Allah. Allah. Allah is a moon deity. And by the way, NASA, the United States government, because I've researched this over and over again, I've seen images. They were warned off to moon to never return. Let me give you a little more blunt detail. Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon, when he returned, he went into some type of depression. He didn't talk to nobody. He didn't, according to Linda Moulton Howe, who interviewed one of Neil Armstrong's friends. This friend went to see him. This particular day, it was nobody home but him. He sat in darkness in his house. He was quiet. He did no interviews. He was never seen in public after he returned from the moon. So his friend went to see him. He sat down and he said, Neil, what's wrong? These are the very words of Neil Armstrong. He said, I will not be a part of this monkey show. He said, when we was landing on the moon in one of the craters, he said what he saw was a silver disc already there that was not from our planet. He said our government knew that there were aliens already inhabiting the moon, extraterrestrial, fallen angels. They knew. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, something crashed in the moon, and someone caught it and videotaped it on the camera. And you could see something impacting the moon, and you could see smoke, dust coming from the moon. There is a lot of satanic activity, a lot of fallen angel activity going on above our sky right now on the moon. Islam, the word Islam means submit to God. But the Quraysh tribe, calling him Allah, is a moon deity. Ishmael did not start that religion. So when people says, well, the 3 Abrahamic religions are Judaism, that's false, because how can Abraham create Judaism when they're trying to say Judaism come from Judah? That don't make sense. No, the Torah believers come from Abraham. Judaism don't follow Torah. They follow the Talmud. But enough of that. We're dealing with this subject. In fact, let me go on trouble. Let me get on trouble right now on TikTok. You know, I'm a glutton. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say it like this: the deception of Islam is that people say that Islam is an Abrahamic religion. It's not. Because Islam, as we prove from sacred history, so-called sacred history, came out from the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Jesuits, for the purpose of using Muhammad to flush out the Hebrew Israelites, flush out the other Ishmaelites, and he conquer Israel and then return Israel, or take Israel and give it to the hands of the Vatican. But he betrayed the Vatican Pope because he saw that he gained power. And so that's when he says, there is none other God but Allah and Muhammad, his prophet. And he began to author the Quran, saying that the angel Gabriel. Now, what did we read in the scriptures yesterday? Where it says, though we or an angel, lowercase, come to you preaching another basora, another gospel, other than what we have preached, let that angel be accursed. Strong words. Because why? Fallen angels are bringing satanic doctrine. So for all of you that are in Jehovah's Witness, and all of you that follow Catholicism or you follow Islam, you are deceived. For all of you that are a Christian, you say you're Protestant, but you're still observing Sunday as the official day. You still observe Christmas, which is a celebration of Tammuz, okay? Who married his own mama, who married her own son Nimrod. You're following all that. You call yourself a child of the Most High. Y'all a bunch of devils, and you're not in the truth. Torah is the truth. Tanakh is the truth. Basora, the Brit Hasesha, but points all back to Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahusha. Some pronounce it Yahweh Shai, no problem. But there's no other name under heaven whereby we must be saved but the name of Yahusha. All right. So this foolishness that's being taught right now in many of the seminaries, this foolish doctrine The foolish doctrine. Let me make sure my volume is up. The foolishness, the arrogance that pump these pastors in seminary. And they're so distraught that the Hebrew Israelites are waking up. And then y'all quote the scripture that says the law is done away with, that we're under grace. For by grace are you saved. Okay, now your exegesis is false, because the term grace means the Almighty Yah is giving you time to get yourself together when it comes to the law and the statutes and the commandments. It don't mean the commandments is done away with. What Yahusha deals with, right? What he deals with is that the commandments alone, set apart from the Ruach HaKadosh, you can't keep it, because rebellion is a natural response to Torah. All we have done is rebel. So that's why man has always created a perversion. That's what we call religion. Yahweh gave us Torah. He gave us the Torah, the Brit Hadashah. He gave us the Tanakh, but we rebel against it. And you let Christian trained theologians, who are what they call apologetics. They are defending the Christian faith, which derives from the Roman Catholic institution. They can't give an answer and don't even understand how Islam came out from the Roman Catholic Church, because the Vatican was shown to be a lie. The Vatican is false. They claim Peter was the first pope. Peter never stepped foot in Rome. So they found out that Peter never stepped foot in Rome. So to keep the lie going, they said we need to move the Vatican. And I'm repeating this again. They need to move the Vatican from Rome, which is Esau, to Israel. But they need to get rid of the remaining Hebrew Israelites, as well as the Ishmaelites, who are also Hebrew. Okay, so they found little Muhammad, seduced him, tricked him into marrying an older woman who was under the Catholic Church power, Kahija, and he began to have dreams, and she interpreted it, and he began to conquer and war against the other Ishmaelites, because they were split up 360 different tribes, or 365 different tribes. And the Quraysh tribe worshipped a moon deity by the name of Allah. Allah is a moon deity, a deity that rules the moon. Nassau, which means liar, to deceive in Hebrew. They've been to the moon, but they was told never to come back, because they came up against some Nephilim, some fallen angels that have their base on the moon. So they come back with all these lies, and now they deceive the precious Ishmaelites. But the Ishmaelites turned against the Vatican, and Muhammad wrote the Quran, and that's where the holy wars begin. Okay, brothers, we're going to continue in this teaching, and so our people can come out from deception. Minister Louis Farrakhan, love him much, but he got to come out from that Quran, because the Quran is based on a fabrication. The Quran is based on lies and deception. It is not the truth. Yahweh did not write the Quran, just like he didn't write the Talmud. Okay? Can't. Yeah. Well, you know, I tell you what, the United States was warned off. You talking about the moon? Yeah, they was warned off. They was warned. When Neil Armstrong saw that shit, he freaked out. He said the United States government knew these things exist. I can't find this other bit of information that I'm about to drop. But there was, you know, I spoke this right before COVID broke out in 2015. I talked about, when I was doing a teaching on this, I was talking about the the satanic activity that's going on in outer space. I saw this video. See, let me see, 2014 at Congregation Beth Yahusha International, I told the people that there is something called a space force. It's a secret arm of the United States government. This was in 2014. I wasn't supposed to know this, but the Most High revealed to me. I said, there's a space force, and there is an alien satellite. They called it the black satellite. It was just hanging in orbit, and the Space Force sent out this ship, this drone ship, and they tried to shoot this thing down. The satellite ducked, and then it shot out like, I mean, faster than the speed of light. I literally saw the video of it. And this thing descended back to Earth, the vehicle that the United States have. Now here it is years later, under President Trump, they come out with this new branch of the military called the Space Force. The Space Force been in existence for a very long time. They've been watching the activity on the moon. Okay, going back to President was it President Roosevelt? I'm sorry, Eisenhower. President Eisenhower. All right. So the stuff that we are talking about is serious business, and this is why Rabbi Mega, we don't have time to play around with these folks. We don't have time, and I'm gonna close this out with activities in Antarctica. Now, Rabbi Mega, I just came to the conclusion because I didn't want to know this, because to me it was stupid. Yeah, they be telling a lot of stuff on The Simpsons. They predicted a lot of stuff on The Simpsons. But I'm going to open the floor. But Rabbi Megara and Apostle Harrison, let me share this with y'all. I'm seeing a lot of activity now, demonic. There is one person who died. I can't think of the name. I think they try to scrub it from YouTube, but I encourage y'all to look this name up. Phil Schneider was involved with a battle in New Mexico. Dulce Air Base, where his job with the CIA and the military, they create these DUMBs, DUMBS, deep underground military bases all throughout Mexico and Nevada. Okay, we all know about Area 51, but there are other secret military installations that you are not aware of, and you will find that they are in collusion with these fallen angels. Phil Schneider dug deep in the earth so they can build this military base. And as he tells his testimony, he says the drill brit, the same drill that they use to bore tunnels to create subway systems, is what they use to drill in the ground to start building these massive underground military installations. Phil Snyder said that they begin to drill, a foul stench, he never could get that smell out of his nostrils, started protruding this black smoke. So he said himself He had on a biological suit. He had a Walther gun P32 something pistol. He said a black beret and a green beret. I never knew the black beret existed, but I guess they are black ops soldiers, special operations. Said they lifted themselves into a crane and went down to see what was going on while the drill bits began to break. And they went down, and they said, and underground, it was this open cavern. And he said, stood before them were these like 7 or 8 7-foot tall gray aliens. He said he grabbed his gun, and before he could fire, he said the gray alien did this to his chest, and a blue beam shot out like electricity and singed part of his fingers off and opened his chest up. He was able to get off a shot and kill one of them. And he said a firefight went on, and a lot of U.S. personnel and soldiers and CIA lost their lives. He said one soldier threw him in the crate and pushed the buttons to airlift him up, sacrificing his own life to save Phil Schneider. I saw his hand. He was not lying. Burnt off. He lifted up his shirt. You could see where it was burned. He was open. Who are these aliens? The Nephilims, fallen angels. Fallen angels as well as the Nephilims. Something is going on. And what type of Nephilim dwells in the earth? There's a name for them. There is the Nordic, who dwells in Antarctica, the reptilian beings dwell in the earth. Now, not trying to spook you out, but like Rabbi Megar said, the Simpsons tell a lot what's going on. But people, how can you continue to go to church and your pastor don't have a clue to the stuff that I'm saying? Y'all may think I need medical attention. Well, hell, I was crazy before I got saved. Come on now. I was crazy in the street, so I will be crazy for Yahweh. Don't care about my reputation. I'm teaching truth. See, the last day Israelites are called to cast devils out and expose Nephilim activity. What do you think King David did when he confronted Goliath? Yeah, Goliath was a Nephilim. All right. We want to recognize the floor to Rabbi Stephen Megar, and also after him, Ariel Benya, because he had his hand up for a minute. So let's keep with this flow. Go ahead, Rabbi Megar. What do you want to share?
Yeah, actually, one of my friends was telling me about, all the other so-called planets and stuff like that. Well, the Nephilim were out there and they were mining the minerals off of there. And that's how they created their UFOs. And then they came to the Earth and they wanted to mine the minerals here, but they could not do it because of the humans that are already on the Earth. So they talked to all the governments to set up a contract to have them, the people, basically mine the minerals for the Nephilim.
Wow. So you're telling me that this was a plan all along?
Yes. It's been a plan the whole time.
Not only that, but cloning is a part of this. All right. Aryeh Benya, you had your hand up for a minute. Go ahead, sir.
Going back to what you said about Esau and the Roman Church, I heard that Zebo and the Roman soldiers were black.
The Roman soldiers?
Yeah, most
of
the
Roman remember, it was Esau. It was Esau. See, Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What people need to understand is the only way you can tell the difference between an Israelite and a Hamite, or let me say it properly, a Shemite and a Hamite, what's difference is the Shemite was circumcised. The Hamite was not circumcised. That's the only way they was able to tell. Now, let me go on here for a record for a minute. All right. The Bible says, out of every nation, every tongue, he's calling his people. There's a teaching that I need to do and to expose any supremacy. All right. Because the question may be asked. So if the descendants of Israel, the true descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were black people, then how come you have all of these shades? Well, let me help y'all out. My father's side, I'm Puerto Rican. There is the Puerto Rican that looks lighter than Rabbi Megra with blue eyes. There is the funny looking Puerto Rican that looks like me. And there's a Puerto Rican that's so dark that make Apostle Harrison look like he's light skinned. Okay? The difference is they are a Puerto Rican. Different shades, different shapes, but their blood says Puerto Rican. Israelites come in all colors. Although Abraham was a black man, Isaac was a black man, Yaakov. But you got to remember something. Noah was an albino. Read the book of Enoch. So Yahuwah is not into this stuff that we have created. Matter of fact, it's not us that's created the Ashkenazi. See, white supremacy is a secret society of the Ashkenazi Rothschild people. And they are not what you call, Caucasian, meaning they descend from the Caucasus Mountains in Asia, where Ukraine was ancient Khazaria, you big dummies, that oppose Russia because Russia has always been about truth, although they were overthrew after Tsar Nicholas helped liberate the North from chattel slavery and defeated the South. So the Khazarians sent in Lenin and Trotsky to bring what we know now as the Bolshevik Revolution and overthrew the Tsar rule and killed his family and brought in atheist belief system, what they call communist or the Soviet or the Bolsheviks. They were Jews. They were Ashkenazi Jews. Lenin and Trotsky was Ashkenazi Jews. So let's get this together. So then, all right, Rabbi, you still ain't explained to me. Where do white folk come from? Well, let's understand something. This English language does a lot of injustice. I don't consider, first of all, this is white. Now, if I put up this to Rabbi Megra, you'll be like, wait a minute. That's white, but Rabbi Megra, and okay, so he's a lighter you. To say somebody doesn't have melanin, you're calling them a crunchy cracker. And what we call in the military and in transit, you crunchy F nuts. Okay, let me stop. I don't want Rabbi Stansbury to get on me with my mouth. The The point I'm trying to make is the Ashkenazi Khazarians control through deception and keeping us divided based off of tribalism and skin color. Y'all not ready for this. I'm not gonna go here tonight. I'm not gonna go here with this. Shem was a black man. Ham was a black man. Yahaphat was a black man. So why does Zondervan dictionary say that Ham, the father of the darker race? That's straight up lie. What they need to say, Ham is the father of the Hamitic kingdom, such as Ethiopia, the Kush, and those other nations. Okay, Yahaphat moved in deeper into Asia, and his descendants begin to undergo a mutation based off of the lack of sun and the cold. The body, Yahweh designed our human body so much until, based off of atmosphere and elements, for us not to die off because of the atmosphere and elements, he will cause a mutation. So Yahaphat's children, their African nose begin to go in. They begin to, because of the cold, they begin to, the hair follicles, that it begins to go longer to protect the neck. The facial hair wasn't because of the cold. That is a symbol that we talk about later. But Yahaphat, because he began to suffer blotches as a result of the lack of sun, and because of the elements, they went into the caves and made their society in the caves. No sunlight. Are y'all following me? So as they begin to have children and multiply in generation and generation, Yahaphat begins to lose a darker hue to a lighter hue that comes from the lack of vitamin D. No sun, no other source of vitamin D. They could have got it from the milk, but it's still, you need the sun. So that's how what we call the so-called white man came about. Not leprosy. I need y'all to stop your rubbish. The white man did not come from leprosy. That is a straight damn lie. Stop it. Please stop your nonsense. Let me show you why. Oh, I done eased up prophetically into this segmentation to end all this rubbish. Why do you think the war with Ukraine is raging? Ukraine, the Khazarians, the Rothschild, went into government, took power, the Rothschild family, of the banking systems of Europe. The Rothschild first went to Adolf Hitler and said, we will fund you if you secure for us the homeland in Israel. Adolf Hitler turned them down. So I can't do that. I have nothing to do with Israel. They said, fine. Then the Rothschild went to Britain. And then Britain went to France and the United States. And after the war, after the end of the war, they signed first. They created the Balfour Declaration, 1917. And then 1947, after the war ended, then the descendants of the Baccarat, who we know now as the Red Shield or Rothschild, migrated to Israel by force. The United States government gave them nuclear technology. Okay? Gave them all of that fallen angel technology. And then they got the nerve over there. They throw in our face the Holocaust. The Holocaust. Where do 6 million Jews dying come from? The word six. Where did that come from? Oh, there you go. You're anti-Semitic. How can I be anti-Semitic when I am Shemitic? But pause. Where do 6 million Hitler slaughtered? Yeah, Hitler did some wrong things, some piss poor things. But Adolf Hitler also knew who the real Shemitic people were. See, what they don't tell you in history is that when the Ashkenazis ran the bank in Germany, they also ran the porn industry. Yeah. They empowered the porn. What happened? They made the interest rate and the mortgages so high that the German people was thrown out on the streets. Some of them died of starvation. Some of them resorted to catching rats and killing the rats and eating the rats. And the Ashkenazis stood by and watched them suffer. But nobody wants to talk about that. And Adolf Hitler stood and watched this. And he began to have public rallies speaking out against the Yahudim, the false Yahudim. And he rallied and grew the Nazi party. Isn't it amazing that the term Nazi fits into the word Ashkenazi? Follow me, y'all. The Ashkenazi, the Nazi party grew. Hitler and his Third Reich people was heavy into the occult. Hitler made a trip to Antarctica and met with fallen angels. They gave him plans for the atomic bomb, nuclear weaponry, gave them occult access. And through incantations, Hitler came back and ran the military through occult power. And another lie that America tells, that Hitler committed suicide, he did not commit suicide. He fled to Argentina. But that's another subject. That's another subject. Hitler came back with occult power, tapping into fallen angel technology. And their Third Reich was empowered by satanic power. But also, Hitler was told the secret by the fallen angels. The Ashkenazi is fake. The Negro are the real Jews. I can't make this stuff up. He told one of the generals, he said, when the world finds out who America has enslaved, and then he said, if the Ashkenazi Jew take over America, the world is prepping now for World War III. And that's what Adolf Hitler said. Upon my death, if the world finds out what I was trying to fight for Germany, tried to rid Germany of, and they find out that who they are that have overtaken the world, and that the America has stolen the jewels of God, he said the World War III, that will be the beginning of World War III. Let me help y'all out with something. This police force in America, they are abusing people. They pull over people, and I keep seeing it on YouTube and videos. It's so bad that they got something for watching, policing the police, where these people pull people over. Let me see your ID. Step out the car for a simple traffic light, or they may have made a wrong turn, and you pull on. Step out the car. They want to slap the cuss. They want to abuse. George Floyd wasn't the only one that died under the hands of American police force. I mean, it ain't just police in America, it's all over. Okay? But how is it a Black Russian who has citizenship here in America and in Russia and she looks like she could be the daughter of Apostle Ronald Harrison. How is it that Russian police, when she went to Moscow, and they said to her, Dudushka, Sparika Dudushka. See, I said something in Russian. See, I'm a little smart. They said, welcome, you are a daughter of Russia. That she said, oh, I'm staying here. I'm never going back to America. She said when America, she went to ask help of the police. Police picked her up and slammed her to the ground. And she needed help. Oh, you trying to tell me ain't no racism? No, there's a different type of racism. It's not even really racism. It's really clash of different ideas. But over here in America, and Christians get on me because I came the way through Freemasonry. I used to be a Freemason. And I used to have on my cars the symbol of Freemason. Christians want to damn me. But if I get pulled over by a cop, you won't come and bail me out. How is it that police force recognize masonry and won't abuse you? But these folks, listen, I'm going deep into the point I'm trying to make is, y'all, we are in the very end. We got to get ready to get out of here. And there's a lot of so-called African Americans who don't even know they're Shemitic. They want to follow other thoughts of Black power movement, the House of Uru, all of that. They want to follow Kemet. I'm not going to even deal with Kemet. I wasn't called to Kemet. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. We're sticking with Torah. That's it. We're not going to go there. So, anybody else have anything they want to share or a question you may want to ask? Arya Benya says, I pray that the Most High get me out. I pray for me, Rabbi Stephen and Rabbi Yosef. Oh, yes, we're praying for you, sir. Go ahead, Rabbi Megre. Go ahead, sir. Your hand is up.
Yeah, so with the Freemason thing, I was wondering, I was never into the Freemason thing, but was that also a spread off from the Roman Catholic Church? Because I was told that to get in, you have to show your penis to a group of people.
No, that's a lie. You see how people, let me share some. See, I'm glad I keep this stuff with me. I haven't thrown it in the trash. Let me show you something.
Hey, I never understood that. Why do I
let me give you a proof that I used to be. I still got my apron. Okay. I still got my apron. Wait a minute. Can y'all see it? Y'all see it?
It's going in and out, but
yeah.
Now we
okay. I was one of the fastest learners in the craft. Okay. Here's a book. Now, why am I showing you that? People talk trash about the rituals, and I went in a believer in Christ, a Messiah. I did not see, there was no satanic oaths, no pledges, showing no penis, drawing blood, none of that. Okay? I was a member of the Prince Hall Masons, which is Black Masons, but there is considered to be a part of the Boule system. Now, the Black Boule system is the gatekeepers protecting. I shouldn't be saying this stuff, but I'm just gonna go ahead. Prince Hall Masons don't move governments. It's in the spirit of fraternity. And white police officers that are member of white Masons, we recognize each other. All right, that's the way it went. When I went to stand before a judge, because I was behind in child support way back in the day, when I was struggling, and I was behind in child support. This judge was vicious. He was the worst judge in Philadelphia County to go for. Everybody that went before him that day was brought out in chains and shackles. There was somebody, I tell the story all the time, there was somebody in the wheelchair. He was paralyzed. They wheeled him in and they brought him out chained in chains and shackles. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to find out. I don't know if this judge is a Mason. I don't know if this stuff works. I went there. I had the shirt on. There's a certain stance that you stand in. It's called standing on your square. Okay, that's all I can tell y'all. The judge was furious. He was like, what you doing in my court? I said, He's talking Mason talk. I said, sir, I'm just here because I was summoned. And I can't tell y'all the rest of the conversation, but it was Masonic lingo. And he said, how much you got in your pocket? $200. Bring me 1,000 in a month. You got it. Paid, boom. I was the only one didn't go to jail. I'm just sharing. But here's what really turned my stomach. Y'all remember Trayvon Martin in Florida? Now I'm about to expose the whole of the rabbit hole. Trayvon Martin's father is a 32nd degree Mason. George Zimmerman's father, who happens to be Ashkenazi, 32nd degree Mason. See, George Zimmerman's mom is Latino. His father is white, who happens to be a judge and a 32nd degree Mason. George Zimmerman kills Trayvon Martin in cold blood. According to how Masons do things. Okay, let me share this with you. Let me give you a point. There was a brother who they found dead. He was killed by some thug in Delaware. And he happened to belong to the same Grand Lodge I came out of. A month later, the boy who killed that Mason was found dead on a bus stop with his throat slit. Now, what I just did is one of the symbols. And that's the only symbol I can show. His throat was cut. Okay? Okay? So I expected that. But I was looking for how they was going to handle George Zimmerman. He killed the son of a 32nd degree Mason. Nothing happened. I said, you know what? Deuces, I'm out. That's what made me go Most High. Said, son, come out. Let me show you what you've been missing. Trayvon Martin's father put on his headstone something, I'm proud of you. Job well done. So that tells me Trayvon Martin's father and George Zimmerman's father, this was a ritualistic sacrifice, because what they're not telling y'all is body parts of Trayvon Martin was missing, and like a heart, some kidneys. And in the same area, Dick Cheney was receiving a heart transplant. Now that's all I'm gonna say about that. A lot of women is going missing. It's not just a sex trafficking, but organs are being harvested. They just had a ring, I think last year, I wish I saved it on my phone, of these people that's into the trafficking of organs, and they took out in handcuffs a lot of Orthodox rabbis that's involved. Oh, the rabbit hole goes deep. So Yashrael, pay attention. The late Pastor Darby preached a sermon. Judah, it's almost time to go. Like Ron Dalton, he said, if y'all don't make plans to get out of America, you're going to die in America. This country is under the judgment. It is under the plagues of Egypt. And the Christian church, especially the so-called black church, you have failed us. You failed us. Because the Boule system has overthrown the black church. There's no more voices. No respect. No integrity. Let me show y'all. Dr. Martin Luther King was about to expose the Boule. And Jesse Jackson and Abernathy, they had him assassinated. Malcolm X was about to expose the Boule, and they had him assassinated. Go back and listen to some of the talks that the late Dick Gregory used to speak. This stuff is deep. It is real deep. So it's not all about a back to Africa. You better get ready for Yahweh to shift you. You and I need to be prepared. Because what we are saying, everything is in contextualization of exposing the beast system, like it's spoken of in Daniel, which says iron and clay. That's talking about he's exposing the hybrid race. Iron and clay don't go together. Okay, Aria, your hand up. Go ahead, sir. Real quick.
Okay, I was going to ask you this too, because I never asked anyone this. When I heard conspiracy after conspiracy, was the Tupac and Biggie war that was set up by Queen Elizabeth and our government?
Why?
Because
why would it be?
Were they sacrificed? Were they really sacrificed?
It was a distraction. That was what's his name?
So Pac is still alive.
No. That's foolishness. He's not alive. He's dead. But who was the mongrel, the rap mongrel? What's his name? Oh God, I can't. That everybody is scared of. Out LA.
DMX?
No, not DMX. Suge Knight. Yeah. No. That's. But see, you're still connecting the dots because Suge Knight, who ran the industry, he still was an underling under the control of the Ashkenazi. The Ashkenazi run BET. Ashkenazi run ABC, NBC, all of the channels, the networks is ran by Ashkenazi content. The thug image is the image created by the Ashkenazi. The saggy pants. I'm sorry, y'all. Even all of this, man, there is Apostle Harrison and the Rabbi Megra. I could talk about it ain't conspiracy. These are facts. They are conspiring to reduce the population. They are about death. What do y'all see what's going on in Mississippi? The same thing that was going on in Flint, Michigan is going on. How is it that nobody's going to jail? No, these people need to be put before a firing squad and killed. They need to be killed because they're harming and trying to kill poor people. Somebody needs to go to jail. Somebody needs to be hung by their ankles. And man, listen. Listen, y'all folk, they say, oh, just pray for them. No, you need to do more than prayer. You need to plan to get the hell out. Let them have it. Let them die of their own sins. Oh man. Do you realize something just happened recently? A couple who was from out of town, black woman and black man, they were sitting in a car at a park in Atlanta. Black cops pull up and said, "You're not supposed to be here." They said, "Oh, we out of town. We didn't understand." And they said, "Let me see your ID." Why do you need to see my ID? And because the cop wanted to flash his macho-ness, it don't matter. He was a black man. There's a spirit that come over that person that carries that badge, and he abused their authority. So you know what? Miss me, all of y'all that talk about protect the blue. I support the blue. I'm not supporting no blue when they killing unarmed black men and black women, and now they also killing unarmed white women and white men. Don't be divided by, oh, okay, the Karens. That's the new name, the Karens. Yeah, a lot of Karens get people, they quickly call the cops, but the tables are turning against the Karens. See, the Ashkenazis want us all to be divided. So we got work to do to prepare to get out. The fact that the Most High kept me here and healed me from cancer, I got to do my job. I'm not here to get likes. I'm not here to get celebrated. Forget that. I'm going to say what he tells me to say. And last but not least, I'm not going to call anybody out who have gotten vaccinated. I pray that your body detox. I don't believe it's the mark of the beast, but I believe that Jabba juice, what's in it is the mRNA to rewrite human DNA. And I'm sorry, I refuse that garbage. And I'm supposed to be returning to Africa this year in Lagos. But I let it be known, I'll take all of the necessary shots for immunization, the malaria shot as well as taking the pills, but I will not take no COVID vaccine. And if that's going to keep me bound, then I won't be coming to Africa. I'm not, Pastor Geno Jennings said he took the Jabba juice because he got to travel international. Miss me with that, Geno. You a clown. You're a bow tie wearing clown. So, miss me with that. So, wait a minute, Rabbi Megra, you just put something. What you said? Let me see. No needed COVID shot.
Joseph, actually, when I just actually traveled back from Africa, and going to Africa and coming back from Africa, you do not need to have a COVID shot. Then right now they just require, used to be requiring a PCR test, but now they don't even require a PCR test.
Okay. What part of Africa you went to?
I went down to South Africa in Cape Town.
Oh, okay.
I still had everything. I mean, I even got my malaria pills. I had my yellow fever, typhoid, everything. I had to make sure I got everything.
Wait a minute. They still giving yellow fever shots?
Yes, they are.
You know what? They just started back, because the last time I went to Africa was in 2012. They said you don't need the yellow because you had it before, but I lost the yellow card.
I had lost mine, and I went in and I actually got them because, I got mine when I was in the military. So
okay,
for them, it was easy.
Okay.
From the VA.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go see the travel doc and get my yellow fever so I can have the card. Even if I don't go this year, but at least I'll have it. See, and then you have to take the malaria pills. Yeah, yeah. That see, and as well, Harrison travels back and forth from Africa as well. So it's mind blowing. I've never been to South Africa yet. I've only been to West Africa. So that's interesting, and we hope one day to be able to go. But I don't know if I mentioned this. I want to reiterate this, y'all, and as I close, we expose Ukraine as being identity thieves of the Israelites. So through the Balfour Declaration, 1947, they take over Israel. They're given military power. They're given nukes. They're supported by the West. But something began to happen. They are dying at high levels of skin cancer. Why? Because they don't belong in that atmosphere. You got to have a certain melanin. Because if you don't, that African hot sun will... Listen, I was in Nigeria and I had to get some cream because I was cooking, Jack. I was cooking. I'm like, man. So what happened is the Ashkenazis started coming back from Israel and relocating to the Ukraine and then Russia. Vladimir Putin said, y'all not doing this. Y'all gonna stay there and die. Because they was trying to come back and overthrow Russia through the Ukraine. That's where that conflict started. So people, open your eyes. Open your eyes and see that they are lying. They've been lying. This whole party, this support for Ukraine, and Ukraine it's using Kuwait. Wait a minute. Talk about heat. Oh yeah.
It was. I mean, it was literally hot. I mean,
yeah.
148 degrees Fahrenheit. That wasn't Celsius. That was Fahrenheit. And I saw this bird flying through the air. Next minute, it did a nosedive and fell over. That was it.
Man, that's rough. That's facts. As one of the things they told me, you got to drink a lot of water, not their water. You got to bottle water, well, you will get sick. And the mosquitoes. Oh my, I was getting attacked by these big joints, the mosquitoes and the tsetse fly. One pastor died. Tsetse fly bit him, and he developed cancer. Point is, don't go to Africa if the Almighty didn't call you. So, but it's a lot to understand the wars that are coming. The wars that are coming. The enemy is, to see, Hashatan knows his end is at hand. Now, the Most High said, explain what you said earlier. And so I thank him for bringing it back to my mind. When I mentioned that the name of Hashatan was not Lucifer, but it was Satan, it was Hillel. Remember, all the names of the angels contain the name of El. So where do we get Lucifer from? Well, the translator that was transliterating the Texas Receptus, he could have put, instead of writing Hillel, he could have put what you call in the Hebrew and the Aramaic, he could have used what you call a substitution and put illuminator or day star. But instead, he took the opportunity to throw shade on a 4th century bishop at Antioch. Lucifer was a bishop. It's the name of a bishop at Antioch, 4th century. He was at odds with the Roman papacy. So the translator, instead of writing Daystar or Hillel, he put, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer. So now everybody's thinking Satan's name is Lucifer. It's not Lucifer, it's Hillel. And the Sefer translation corrected that. That's why a lot of those scholars are coming up against Dr. Stephen Pidgeon for telling the truth. And not only that, but restoring the translations or the books of the Bible that the Council of Nicaea decided not to add, such as the Book of Enoch. But that's all for tonight, people. My time is over. Praise the Most High for all of y'all. Be safe out there. Rabbi Mago, if you don't mind sharing with us, what state you live in?
I live in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Okay, so you on the East Coast.
Same as Rabbi Harrison.
Okay, I need y'all to. Have y'all ever heard of the Brown Mountain area in North Carolina?
No, I haven't.
Look up. You do this on YouTube. The Brown Mountain Lights. It is a frightening revelation of what goes on at Brown Mountain. We're talking about fallen angels, abduction. There's a movie out. I can't think of the name.
Is that up there by Black Mountain?
No, it's Brown Mountain. What's that?
I'm saying, I know where Black Mountain is, but that's in North Carolina too.
I think it's by there.
Okay.
Let me get the name of that movie. That area always skeeved me out. That area always skeeved me out.
Everybody talking about Powder Mountain.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay. It was made in 2014. The name of the movie is called Alien Abduction. Alien Abduction, by the family who went to Brown Mountain. And every now and then they'll see the Brown Mountain lights and people will go missing. And this movie was made off of information that the United States Air Force released. Brothers and listen, this is what we need to be preaching and warning folk. Because people go around la-da-da-da-da. Let me share this with y'all. Now, I'm telling on myself. My grandfather on my mother's side, my grandfather was a warlock. He dipped and dabbed in a whole bunch of stuff. And it opened the door. And I remember dealing with some things that would visit me as a child. Yahweh saved me. 1979 at the age of 13. Well, I went back out there because I started chasing women at the age of 10. So give you an idea. I started drinking and getting high at the age of 11. So I was way out there. But Yahweh said, enough is enough. I demand, or else you're not going to live past your 17th birthday. I came back to him. and the rest is history. I'm not turning around for nobody. So these Christian folk, these folk that play church, they play church. Listen, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Y'all can miss me with that stuff. I need Yahuwah too much for me to miss the mark. And do we fail? Yes. But the greatness of Torah, that it is the light that Yahusha shows us through his death, his burial, and him getting up out of the grave on the third day. It gives us power through the Ruach HaKadosh to walk on that which would normally kill us. So I'm not playing with these folk. So the person that went behind my back and went to that who claimed he's going back preaching, he's not preaching the Hebrew Israelite stuff, I forgive y'all, but at the same time, the hell with y'all. I don't care. Miss me. Don't give a damn. Excuse my language. Y'all play church too much. Y'all out here gossiping. You whispering. You breaking fellowships. And if you's a brother that are weak minded and you believe this garbage, the hell with you. I forgive you, but I'm keeping it moving. That's what it is. I'm not going back to Christianity. You gotta be a straight fool to go back there to paganism. Y'all want to keep putting up Christmas trees? Have at it. But as for me and my house, we observing Torah. We observing all the feasts. So miss me with that. And I'm sorry that the brother feels what he feels. Ask me if I'm missing sleep. Because look, he went on and said he ain't put his Hebrew lifestyle. A lot of people have been coming against us. And they're going to say, well, there's no real unity. Well, what do you expect? Do you expect us to have a pope? Hell, there's no unity in Christianity. Let me expose you dummies for a minute. You got one saved, always saved. That's Calvinism. Then the others say, you gotta be baptized in Jesus' name, or you're going to hell, Mr. Jennings. Then you got another group says, well, they pick and choose. Then you got Full Gospel Baptist Fellowship, which produced Mr. Eddie Ding Dong Long. Excuse me, Bishop Eddie Long. Okay. Then you got Church of God in Christ, Church of God written in heaven, Church of God in prophecy, Church of the firstborn, Church of the secondborn, Church of Jude, Church, get the hell out of my face for all these churches. Y'all don't know your Bibles. Come on, man. Then you got Pastor Steve Anderson, who preaches white supremacy. But then you got other brothers who have adopted some other philosophical back to Africa teaching. Anything that points you away from Yahusha, get rid of it. Masonry states you must believe in the creator, but they use the term the divine architect of the universe. That's all I can say. You can't be a Mason and be an atheist. You can't be a Mason and be into homosexuality. I'm just saying. Now, today, I don't know. But based off of the rule book, you can't do that. You can't do it. So that being said, my brothers and sisters, thank y'all for coming on tonight. I bid all of y'all shalom, shalom, shalom.